Hi guys, thanks for joining me. My name is Wendy Evans Bastings, and I just want to share with you some things tonight. And I want to tell you that I have become so obsessed with helping women to achieve their God-sized dreams. And because that's exactly what I'm doing right now and where I'm at in my what I like to think of as my journey right now. And I just am so blessed to have been able to find this that I want to share it with everybody, and I don't feel comfortable not sharing it with everybody. And so I figured this is the best way to get it out there so I can share it with all of my friends. And, it's hard to open up like that and to kind of put yourself out there and to be vulnerable, but, here it goes. That's, like I said, that is exactly what I'm doing right now, is starting to achieve, even to visualize and dream those God-sized dreams again, and then to actually start to achieve them. And who would have thought that a year and a half ago that this would be happening just because of one little tube of magic lipstick. And I know it sounds crazy, but it is crazy amazing is what it is. And I want to take as many of you with me on this journey from average to amazing. And I get choked up because it is a lot to share. But, because I've learned that your life can be different if you choose to make it different. And that's kind of what I'm going to share with you tonight, is how I've been learning that, that my life, I'm not even going to say your life, my life has so many other options that I had kind of become complacent about and had forgotten that I have choices and options, and that I can actually have some control over that and not just have to wait and see what happens, or just kind of take the punches as they come. It's not easy to make a different life for yourself. It's hard work. Absolutely. It's what I have found in the opportunity that God's given me to use as a vehicle to be able to make those choices and to begin to start to live a life of intention rather than just a life of what is, coming down the pike at me. It is hard work. It's simple. It's simple work. It's not rocket science, but it's not easy. It's hard. It's hard work. Of course it's hard work. Having a life of intention, being able to achieve God-sized dreams, being able to, actually, achieve these big goals and successes and find contentment in our lives. And yeah, it is hard work, but it's oh so worth it. And, so yeah, like I said, I get choked up and I just want to share it with everybody. So as you're watching this, I want you to, in the comments below, I want you to drop a number 1 down there, if you live in the, my local 4-state area. I live in Carthage, Missouri, which is a little town just outside of Joplin in southwest Missouri. And so this little area of ours is called the 4 states. So if you live in the 4 states area, drop a 1 in the comments below. If you live outside of that area known as the 4 states, it's, southwest Missouri, then Kansas, Arkansas, and Oklahoma right there. So if you don't live in that area, drop a 2 down there. So I just kind of see where everybody's at. And so if you don't live in that area, anywhere else in the country, drop a number 2. Now here's one. I don't know if we'll get anybody, but it's exciting. If you live outside of the United States, drop a 3 down there. Let's see if we have anybody that is going to end up seeing this video that is not in the United States. So awesome. Okay, and I had to write notes because I get excited and I get emotional and it's hard to share. And so anyway, I've got notes. My entire life, and even looking back into late high school, early college, all through college, I always felt like God had a plan for me. And, to not necessarily have a big life, but to have a life that would have have an impact and to make a difference. And I feel like I never was able to probably listen to God closely enough and to hear his guidance and see his guidance and allow his guidance to put me on that path, or to keep me on that path, whenever I would be, whenever I would happen to be on it for brief periods of time. In college, I have a teaching degree, and I did teach school for 7 years. In college, when I was completing that degree, I had, sorry for the background noise. I had these, big dreams to, do something, big and, resourceful and supportive and helpful, and to not live in my hometown my entire life. I actually, it seems so silly now, but I had these big dreams to join the Peace Corps, actually, and to travel and work in Africa to help children and teach, and to help families to be able to get support and resources and clothing, food, shelter, all of those things. Not necessarily mission work, because I wasn't mission oriented like through the church. I should have been. That was probably my number one problem, that I wasn't listening to God and going that direction. But definitely mission work just without church. And so that's back then the only thing I could think of was like Peace Corps. Right now I couldn't even tell you what Peace Corps actually does, but that's what my thoughts were. And, so then, guess what happens? Being a late junior in college, senior in college, what happens to a lot of people? I met a boy, and plans change. And so I never pursued that. I, took the much more traditional route, got married, got a teaching job, had 2 beautiful babies. Marriage ended when those 2 beautiful babies were very, very small. I've been a single mom since my kids were 3 and 1. And my kids are now 20 and 17. And so, yeah, life definitely, and that's part of what I want to share. Life has definitely taken some turns, and lots of turns. And some of those are those hairpin turns. And I slid off the road on a lot of those hairpin turns. But that's where I am right now, is that God has, worked some magic and brought me back onto the path that I really feel like, for the first time in my life, that I am right exactly where he wants me to be. And not just to feed my spirit, but for me to share how much my spirit has been fed, and how much my soul has been fed, my spirit has been repaired and is healing from lots of things that have happened over the past few years. But, so I'm getting ahead of myself. So like I said, over the years, life has just happened. And I lost that ability to, whether it was through being divorced with such little babies and automatically being thrown into survival mode. It really felt like that survival mode that you're in right after a divorce with little babies and teaching full time and all the stuff of life. It feels like that survival mode never ended until now. Because, of course, it was always paycheck to paycheck. But it's not even just about money. It was always moment to moment. Or on a good day, like Monday to Friday. And like I said, not just about money, but just about brain power, mind power, emotional power. Just being able to get up in the morning and go to work and go to teach school and do all the mommy things that have to be done. And so I feel like, being in that place of survival emotional survival and financial and everything that, you think it's going to be just for those first couple of years, getting back on your feet after a divorce and whatnot. And then all of a sudden my kids are 20 and 17. And yeah, that's hard because it's like, oh my gosh, what all did I miss right there? Because I was not making choices and making decisions and living my life intentionally with a plan. I was just taking the punches as they came and reacting. Everything I was doing for the past 15, 16 years I really feel like it's been nothing but reacting and a reactive response to all this crap that's happened in our lives and around us. So, about then a year and a half ago, after a 3 or 5 year period of really crappy stuff with the family and so many close family members with horrible illnesses that went on and on for years. And we lost several family members just in such short time frames, and horrible drawn out illnesses and family drama and just all the stuff. And so at the end of that season, I was about a year after my brother had died, and I was not in a good place. And I talk about survival mode. It was seriously just make it from morning to when I got home from work. And I was just drained. I was dead inside. I was empty. I had nothing left to give to anyone, including my kids. And that breaks my heart. And it was horrible. So then, unbeknownst, God works in such mysterious ways that it's about that time that God started putting SeneGence into my radar. And the way that God did this is through my baby cousin. I call her my baby cousin because I was 16 when she was born, and she was my baby doll. I took her everywhere, and I still think of her as my baby cousin. So my baby cousin, Shay Terry, had become a distributor with SeneGence, and she had started posting stuff on Facebook about lip scents and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, because let me tell you, at that time, I didn't wear lipstick. Hell, I didn't even wear makeup. I wore foundation and powder every day to work because kind of needed to be, to be socially acceptable. But that was it. I might have worn like what was called full makeup for me back then, like a eyeliner, mascara, some cheek color, maybe some lipstick. It was like, if it was like for family pictures or something, so maybe twice a year or a big event. And that was it. So when Shay starts posting all this stuff on Facebook, I'm like, oh, geez, whatever. Because for one, I wasn't into makeup then. I had been before in different times of my life, but definitely not then. And, I didn't even wash my face. So let alone did I care about makeup or skincare. I didn't care about, I was barely functioning. So I did not give a crap. I didn't cleanse my face. I didn't moisturize my face. I didn't use anything. I take it back. I did use one thing, alcohol. Well, yeah, no wonder my face, oh my gosh, when you see my before and after pictures, no wonder my face looked the way it did, because I didn't do anything with it. And I was putting straight alcohol on it because I thought it was like healing up the little, the little and the big blemishes and zits and crazy things I had going on. So, after a couple of months of seeing Shay post these things, I thought it was maybe kind of cool that, when she would post that the lipstick doesn't come off, or, she'd do this and, it doesn't come off. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I don't care. But so we were at a family event, and, she looked really good. And, so I told her, I said, it's just my baby cousin. I love her to death. So I was like, I'll help you out. I'll have a little party. And she was like, well, okay, awesome. Do you want to do a Facebook party, or do you want to do an in-home demo? I'm like, well, how the heck are you going to do a Facebook party with makeup, because you don't get to try it on? So bring it over to the house. I'm sure my friends will want to get their hands on it and, try it, not just look at pictures of it on Facebook. I had no understanding of how these things work. And so we had a party. And you know what? It was so much fun. And honestly, it was the first girly thing I had done for myself in years. So the girls came over, we played makeup. I had no makeup on my face when she got there. Zero, not even the foundation and the powder to be socially acceptable. And so when we were trying on lips, my friends went crazy for it. They loved it. And I got a little excited, you know. And so I did have to then go in and put on some foundation once I had some color on my lips. Hey, guess what color my first colors were? I got 2 colors that day because one was free and I had a great discount. And so I got the colors called Nude and Neutral. So you can imagine how exciting those colors were. But, you know, that's where I was in my head in my life. And so, yeah. But even just with the colors Nude and Neutral, I started feeling a little bit pretty. I hadn't felt pretty in years. And so she had to order in the rest of our products. And so a few days later, she came over to deliver the product. And so in the meantime, my mom had gone to another LipSense demo from somebody else she knows. And at that demo, they were talking about, you know, how you can sign up to get the wholesale discount. You know, whether you want to be a distributor and actually sell any or not, you get the same discount. So if you're going to be, you know, purchasing a lot, you might as well sign up for the discount. So when my mom came over to pick up her stuff and Shay was there, my mom, you know, said, well, here's the deal. You know, you can sign up for $50 because back then it was 50. It's 55 now. And so one of us needs to do this because I loved it. My mom loved it. My daughter loved it. My sister-in-law loved it. And all my friends at the party had such a good time and they had ordered quite a bit of stuff. And so, you know, I don't know why. Well, I do know why. But at that moment, I didn't plan on saying anything, but I opened my mouth and the words came out that said, I'll do it. And Shay looked at me. She was like, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? And so, yeah, I signed up right there to get our discount. Well, knowing my friends were loving it and whether I was in a good place or not, plus God, you know, I know now God was working his magic because he knew that Synergence had what I needed. I don't know if it's that he brought me to Synergence or he brought Synergence to me, but somehow he knew. He knows all. He brought us together because he knew that Synergence was what I needed to start on the road to, I don't want to say being healed, because when you're that broken from life, it's not necessarily being healed. It's being mended in the way I feel and the way I see, because I am so much better, but there's scars. And I've learned a lot from all of those experiences. And so anyway, so I signed up to be a distributor, started ordering stuff. Well, then, you know, there were a couple of things, you know, if you did this, then you could earn some free product. So I'm very challenge oriented, and I like to, if there's a contest, I want to win it. And so I started like winning and earning all this free product because just my friends were wanting some. So I was like, okay, I'll kind of play with it and see. Well, the more I played with it and to see, and I started following some of the Synergence distributor Facebook groups just to get some information. Okay, how do I do this? How do I, you know, take a credit card? Because my friend didn't have cash and she lives out of state and so I just started learning some of those things. And the more time every time I sold a lipstick, I felt really good about myself. I hadn't felt really good about myself in a long time. And every time that happened, I started feeling better and better and better. And so, you know, it started with lipsticks, that nude lipstick. Well, you know, you can imagine how many days it was before I wanted something maybe a little bit of color rather than nude and neutral. And then if I had a little bit of color on my lips, well, then I wanted to wear, you know, more than just foundation. So maybe a little bit of stuff on my eyes and then my cheeks and lashes. And then maybe I want to, you know, keep up with my haircut and the color a little bit more. And then maybe I want to, you know, wear a bracelet or wear a cute shirt to work instead of just the same old frumpy junk I'd been wearing every day for the past 5 years. So it was just started to happen. And I didn't even realize how much weight I had gained. I mean, I've always been chunky. I've always been overweight. But through all the stuff of life, those years before, I did not comprehend how much I had gained. And I will say I've lost almost 50 pounds now and still have quite a bit to go, but that's okay. But I don't even know where I was at. I guess just that how amazing it is that God has used this. And so now that I, started feeling so much better and I started meeting these women, because I was like, okay, well, I want to learn a little bit more. And so I would, go to a little meeting or, meet a couple people. And now I go to meetings all the time because these are my friends. I never would have met these most amazing women who are from all walks of life, who, are doing this we each have our different reasons. And, I did not start doing this to make extra money. I started doing it just so we could get our product. And then I kind of kept doing it and kept playing with it because it made me feel good. Well, after those two things happened, guess what started happening after I started feeling good? And because then I still wanted to sell more and do more and more. Well, then I started making the extra money. And I was like, oh, wow. I didn't pay attention to the compensation plan. I knew that I would make 50% of every tube of lipstick I sold. And then I started selling skincare, so I was going to make 50% off of every bottle of cleanser or moisturizer or whatever that I sold. Well, then there's also this amazing thing called the compensation plan, because I wasn't looking to build a team. And in fact, when I first started, I said, I will not. Just letting you all know, I will not be signing anybody up. I am not going to try to talk anybody else into doing this. This is just for me and my sanity. And so, well, after a few months, some people started to notice that I was feeling better and doing better, and that they started asking me if they could sign up and join my team. I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we can do that. So then I had to start learning what that meant. Well, once I started learning what that meant and saw the potential for the extra income on top of just my sales, oh my gosh, I started to understand more about this opportunity and how this opportunity that our founder, Joni Rogers Conte, has actually purposely created for us so that because her goal is to help women, empower women to be able to live a life of love and abundance. And let me tell you, I don't have big dreams of making millions of dollars. I wouldn't turn it away, obviously. Hello. But I do now, for the first time in my adult life, have big dreams of living a life of intention, not just sitting and waiting for all the crappy things in life to happen to me anymore. And in that life of intention, to live in love and abundance and to share that with all of those around me. That's why I'm in this. And that's why I want to share with all of you, because I know how badly I was hurting and how empty I was. I truly feel like Synogen saved my life. I'm not saying I was suicidal, but I was dead inside. And I, many days, would literally pray for Jesus to just come back today, because I'm done. I'm tired. I don't have what it takes left in me anymore to do this. And that doesn't happen anymore. I get up now excited. Yeah, there's always bad days. But I wake up now excited for the day. And I want to share that. Ooh, crazy cars. I want to share that with every woman and man that I encounter, because that's what God intends for our lives to be, is to be filled with that contentment and that happiness. So I'm going to stop before I cry. and I'm losing the daylight and I've got to get into a meeting. So I'm going to stop. I've really enjoyed talking to you guys. Let me know. Contact me if you have any interest whatsoever. You know, it's $55 to possibly change your life. And this has been the best year and a half of my life, except for my babies, of course. And I cannot wait to see what the next year and a half has to hold. And I want to share that with you guys. I want to take you along on this journey with me. So I love you all, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.